Hello everybody, Chris Petri here. We're doing a marathon video on boats, painting boats. My friend Brian, he's hanging in here with us to do some boat painting, drawing. We're having lots of fun. Here we're at the 3 of 4 location on the video, so we've got one more after this. And of course I always am keen on cleaning the palette here. Dip some paper towels in some water. We do a nice quick cleanup of the palette. Get everything cleaned up good here and be ready for our next washes of paint. And fresh water in the water bucket too. We took a nice break, maybe about 20 minutes of a break. And actually, I took a little more than that, about an hour. So I got some dinner, and now I'm back after dinner. Fresh water. Palette's been cleaned up here. We're going to go back into the same colors, of course. Now we're working into the sky colors, which are just going to be the same thing as our boats and water and distant mountains. We're not going to change our colors. We're going to keep repeating the same colors over and over in our painting as we go. And this will give a nice, beautiful harmony to everything. Everything will blend together in a nice, beautiful, harmonious composition for colors and tonal values as well. We have our darks, and then we have our lighter colors in the water, and our midtones here in the distant mountains, and some midtones in the sides of the boat. But we have a nice blend of tonal values here, darks and lights. We started with our darks, and now we're going to do some sky colors. I think I'm also going to do some darker colors in the water, maybe just to spruce the water up. It looks a little bland right now. So I have my 3 brushes, round brushes, sables, Kolinsky sable, red sable, Escadas 4, smaller, medium 6, and a 10. So these are the 3 brushes I've used for this painting. And this is approximately a 6 by 10 watercolor paper with some tape around it. Let's get back into this here. So now I'm going to use the largest brush, the number 10, to do some sky. We'll get some fresh, clean water, cobalt blue, cerulean blue, French ultramarine blue, some mineral violet, purple, then we'll do a touch of yellow ochre with some cadmium red, sort of an orangey yellowish red. And then we'll do some sky. Maybe we'll add a little bit of burnt sienna to our mixture to slightly gray down the blue. As you can see here, I'm moving my brush around in different ways to get some variation. Here, nothing too dark for the sky. I don't want to overpower anything too much with a really dark tonal value, so I'm sticking with the middle tones. Cloud shapes here, just rounded. Little splash here and there. Can always pick up a splash if it doesn't look great. with the napkin or tissue. Just a touch of that orangey gold color for some of the cloud formations here. Okay, and that's a pretty decent sky here, looking good. Looking fine. I'm mixing some more colors here, a little more blue. While the paint is still wet, that's the perfect time to just add in a little more color. It's got to be done quickly though, right when it's still wet, fresh. And that looks good for the sky, something very simple. Again, I go in with some variations in paint here, some changes in color a little bit. But it has to be done, again, like when it's really wet. If it dries a little bit and then you try going back in, it makes really very unpleasant looking marks. I might have even, I'm right on that fine line of going in a little too late with the additional colors here, but I think they'll be fine. Okay, and now we will do some darker colors in the water to give that a little bit of a interesting look. And I'll start off with maybe start off with the 6 round brush. And I try to go with a darker tonal value here, using the same colors again, mineral violet, which is purple essentially, and cobalt blue, cerulean blue, a little bit of viridian green. If it's too dark in the back, can lift it up quick with some tissue. The colors in the distance have to be lighter. And then as we get more close, then we can do a little more. And this is where we want to be very careful just to do a couple more. And that's about it. And we also have to do some detail. For the shadows, and we have to do the masts. What I think we'll do is we'll let this dry, because when we do the masts, it has to be dry. If we're going to do the lines of the mast with some maybe gold and some burnt umber paint, we want to do that when it's dry, the sky. Otherwise it'll just blossom out and make a giant mess. But always have your tissues handy if you see something really horrible happening to your painting toward the end here when you're finishing up and everything's looking good. Have a little tissue right next to where you're painting in case you see anything start to go crazy. Grab quick and blot it out, because it'll be a lot easier if you blot it out than let it go, and then it'd be a lot harder to fix. Okay, now let's see if I can do anything before we break, and then we'll come back for part 4. Yes, we can do a little bit of reflections, but I'm going to wait for that. I was thinking about doing some reflections from this mast on this boat here, but it's better to do the mast first because the colors will mix We'll mix up colors for the mast first. Then we can use that same color right from our palette and then bring it down into the water and make a little bit of a shadow effect on the water from the mast. And the same with these three masts here. So letting things dry in between portions of your painting are very important to remember. I would say it's better to take lots of breaks and go really carefully as you paint through your painting. If you're going to do a finished painting, this we can consider a finished painting. This would be something we'll frame and give, for a gift, or maybe sell it to someone, a friend of ours, or maybe put it in a gallery or whatever, competition. So when we're doing a more serious painting, that's when we really go more carefully. We take our time, we take breaks, we clean the water in the water bucket, we clean our palette constantly to keep everything really fresh, and we stay focused. If we're doing a quick little composition to have fun or warm up, we don't have to worry so much about all the details. But when we're doing a finished painting, we definitely have to take our time more, think things through. And the more you paint and more you practice, these things come more second nature. But it does take some time. And so let's take a break, and we'll be back shortly, maybe 10-15 minutes, to do part 4, where we'll do the final touches to this boat painting. And Brian will be very happy. He's going to have a great video to check out for his next boat painting. All right, guys, we will see you, and gals, see you in a few. Bye-bye.